Hi there, I'm Joost van Broek and welcome to the third episode of Ask Ex Libris. Today I'm going to answer the question of Frederic St-Georges, which is: N has a distinctive sound that is very different from Ex Libris' first two albums. What were your objectives to make this trilogy sound unique? Well, first of all, thanks for the compliment about the production, because if you feel the trilogy sounds unique, I think that is a big compliment and I'm very happy to hear that. We indeed tried to make it sound pretty different from any symphonic progressive metal band out there. We had the concept of using 3 different styles, so one per chapter. Every time we kind of looked at the material and we thought, okay, what are we going to do? The first one, more like the old school progressive way, not so processed, not a huge guitar sound, more like a Marshall vintage kind of vibe. Of course still recorded in this time, so it does sound different than old school, but still with a lot of dynamics and not overly processed. The second one, we had the idea to make really big, so lots of heavy elements, big choir, big orchestration. And in the third chapter, and Frank, we used both. So it was a very, very versatile chapter. And of course we used acoustic elements and stuff like that. So if you listen to the album, you actually hear 3 different production processes, completely different. Different time, different instruments, different amps, different gear, different approach of anything. And that already is quite unique to have on one album. Normally an album is recorded in one go, one setting, and that's it, which works of course. But with Ex Libris we decided not to do that, and that's actually a very challenging thing, but also making the album sound unique in my opinion. One of the big differences is of course that the first 2 albums of Ex Libris are also really played and written, for a big part at least, by a different band. Different drummer, different guitar player, different bass player. In the third part of N and Frank, I also did a lot of co-writing, and I was responsible for all the arrangements and orchestrations. Of course, we're here in Sandlane Recording Facilities, which is a very high-end studio where I've been producing many records of famous bands. Big production with lots of instruments, layers, and lots of pre-production. And this process we also used with Ex Libris. The band, of course, had a very successful crowdfunding, so was also able to do this because it's an expensive process. It takes a lot of time, takes a lot of studio facility, and especially when you want to work with a choir, with extra instrumentalists, you have to hire these people, etc, etc. So it's a very intensive process, difficult to produce and to arrange, but I think we did a great job, and especially when you feel it sounds unique, I think we did. Thank you very much for watching this episode. If you have any more questions for myself, Bob or Dianne, feel free to ask. Bye bye.